talk a little Indiana Hoosier recruiting because they got some stuff going on up in Indy. Tell us about it, Steve.
The Hoosiers coming off a college football playoff, Josh. A lot of excitement around Indiana. Kurt Signetti and his program, a historical season in Bloomington. They've been hosting top targets this spring, and it is now closing time for the Big Ten program. I've logged a few predictions in favor of Indiana this week. Let's start with one of the most coveted point of attack players in the state, defensive lineman Blake Smythe. He's out of Franklin, Indiana. He's got offers from Illinois, Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, to name a few, but I like where IU stands. Pat Kuntz and company doing excellent job. Signetti's involved. He's the number 10 player in the state. I have an on-3 RPM in favor of Indiana to land Blake Smythe. Probably one of my biggest predictions of the week is for on 300 running back Damon Ferguson. He's out of Baltimore, Milford Mill Academy. He took his official visit to Indiana over the weekend. He gave that trip high marks, loves the way that they utilize the running backs in that offense, the culture, the trajectory of the program, his relationships with the staff. He's got offers from the likes of Ohio State, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Duke. I think Indiana's the team to beat. My on-3 RPM reflects that now. Indiana's still kind of looking for their quarterback. And if you look at Kurt Signetti's track record at the position, his last 4 signal callers have been the conference offensive player of the year, including Curtis Rourke in the Big Ten Conference this past season. Nathan Bernard is a guy that I predicted to Indiana. Now, that's kind of a long play prediction for me. He just committed to App State. He is one of the top guys on the board for Indiana, but they're waiting to see just kind of how things play out this summer, continue to evaluate the position. They can be picky with the success they've had. Luke Fahey out of Mission Viejo is obviously one of their top targets. He's going to take an official this summer. But I think Nathan Bernard is someone that's just kind of lying in the weeds. Anytime they hit the gas there for the Ashland, Ohio product, I think they can get them. So my on-3 RPM reflects that. A couple more key in-state targets for Indiana. They're in some big boy recruiting battles, Josh. Let's talk about former Penn State commit Jaquaden Guilford. He's from Fort Wayne. Indiana's in the top 2 with Ohio State. Mike Shanahan, Indiana's offensive coordinator, was out there earlier this week. So is Brian Hartline from Ohio State. The Buckeyes are juggling some guys at the position, but they definitely like Guilford. He is one of Indiana's top offensive targets, regardless of position. That's the top 2. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out, but I could see him in Indiana's class. And then this weekend, they host one of their top offensive line targets from up in the region area. Indiana Hoosiers know what I'm talking about when I say the region area. That area right outside of Chicagoland in northwest Indiana. Cameron Miller will be back in Bloomington. He is as coveted a player as there is in the class, regardless of position. Offensive tackle with a ton of upside. That region area is a kind of a hidden gem in the Midwest. A lot of guys go on to the NFL. Kenneth Grant from Michigan being the latest first rounder from the region. Miller is a guy that Indiana will certainly be excited to have on campus this weekend. It'll be full go. Wouldn't be surprised if I'm predicting him to IU coming out of this weekend, Josh.